What's poppin', you guys? Welcome back to the Honest Truth podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Sweet, and I have a special guest in the building, Coco Jones.
Hi, Kel.
Hey, meow.
Why don't you tell them who I am to you?
Okay, yeah. So, backstory: me and Courtney. Ooh, can I say? Can I say the government?
You can.
Okay.
It's Googleable. It's Googleable.
Me and Courtney have been friends for a very, very long time, and we actually met maybe like 5 years ago through Instagram, like DMs, like us just trying to find like a little hangout, a little friend to kick it with, and we literally have been what's the word?
Inseparable.
Inseparable since.
Literally. But you know what? I don't even remember who DM'd who
I don't
first.
remember either. I don't remember how it exactly happened or why it happened. I just remember us linking up at that little restaurant downtown.
Was that
Do you
the
remember?
first time? Because that was not 5 years ago. That wasn't the first time. Where you had blonde hair?
No, not when I'm talking about, honestly, Coco, time flies because I wasn't with Chris. And we've been together now for a longer than that. So
I remember when you first met him.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm starting to feel things. I'm living up there. I was like, period. Well,
I said,
be careful.
I'm definitely going to Atlanta.
Okay. I was like, go. It
Right.
seems like he's got you by the heartstrings.
Indeed. Okay.
We were literally at, wasn't that like BB Lowe's or, not BB Lowe's. You know the one that used to be that poppin' hookah place?
Yes, I do know. It is so cool for me as a friend just to see where you're at now, because when we first kind of like was getting close or whatever, we were both kind of trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
Like we knew like the dreams, the goals, what it's going to be, but it's like, it's just cool to see just where you're at. Like everything we talked about, it's like we're seeing it in real life.
Yeah.
So it's dope.
It is crazy. I think it's also very, very a safe space to know that we were friends before any of these things,
that
you know?
too. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, well, I don't know if you actually knew of like Let It Shine and stuff like that.
Oh, I knew.
Oh, you did?
Girl, I'm thinking about that was my soundtrack. I told
really?
you.
Girl, you know I don't be
Roxy,
remembering.
I love you.
Ew, it's Roxy. I'm sorry, not the misquote. I'm kidding. But I feel like that's something that I hold in such high esteem in my friends is like, did you just get here?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how I would make a new true friend right now. All the friends that I really like confide in have been years in the making.
Yeah.
I need that loyalty.
I think that's a blessing. I mean, that's how I feel as well, because again, it all boils down to like discernment for me. Like you already know how I get down.
Yes.
Like always just trying to stay prayed up, and also getting the opinions of people that I really know values me. That matters to me, because I'm like, if you feel something off with somebody, most likely it's off.
Yeah.
And but I'm just happy too that you done found the friends before, because child, you would have been scrambling.
Oh, absolutely.
You would have been having blindfolds on trying to scramble.
No, literally fighting for my life.
Yeah.
I feel like that is one of the things that make somebody that's like quote unquote popular celebrity, whatever, like lose their personality, lose like their normalcy. Once you like don't have those friends that were around when there was no reason to be around.
But also lose your mind, because it's like everybody, I don't care what status you are on, I don't know what you do, you need a safe place. Like you need people that you can call. Yeah. Like I believe in calling people. Facts. Okay? The right ones though, not everybody, because everybody don't need to know stuff.
That's true.
But, okay, so I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So we are going to start with some icebreakers just to like get a little warmed up.
Is it okay if I take sips of my protein shake?
Yeah, I mean, girl, we at home in the living room.
Okay, period. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay. So what is something anyone can do that can annoy you?
Oof, that's a good one. You know what? I would say like big talk. It's just really...
We was on the same.
Were you going to say that?
I was going to say not big talk, but I was going to say like when you can tell someone is trying too hard.
Yes.
Like you're trying to like...
Yes. You're just dragging it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the loudness is giving me you're dragging it. Like I would rather have to decipher and find out for myself who you are and what you do and like how big you are.
Yeah.
Please stop.
And also, I don't want to know.
I really don't want to
like
know.
If I ask, that's different.
Yes.
But like if I didn't ask, really don't care.
Tell me. Like, didn't need it. Was fine without it. You know, it's another thing too. Like, also PSA, burnt myself. Sorry, you know.
Oh, bless
just
the
noticed
heart.
that. Another thing too that I really cannot stand is when people are like, "Oh, if they ever did this to me, I would da 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 da."
And I'm like, you can't do.
I wish we could prove that.
I'm like, please hop in my body and then do what you were gonna do. Because
Okay.
I guarantee you wouldn't.
I would never da da da. I would have told them, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I'm sure you wouldn't.
Okay? Because the things you tell me, it doesn't add up to that. So please.
And I'm like, the things you do on a daily basis is
Doesn't
also not
add up to
adding
that.
up. So let's just make sure, okay?
I'm like, let's just keep it shut. I just can't with the big talk. It's really gross.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Kelly, I feel like you can get
Ooh.
easily annoyed.
I feel like you can get easily annoyed. So I
You
thought
think
this
you
was
can
gonna
get more
be a
easily
great
annoyed than me?
gander. Okay.
Who has the quicker temper? 'Cause
honestly,
you be telling
me.
some
Me.
Thank you.
Yeah, me.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
me.
Thank you.
Okay. What's annoying to me is, oh, dang, I had it and lost it when we went down that.
My bad. I'm going to let you find it.
No,
again.
no worries. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Vibe killers. So like if you're on a trip, like a girl's trip, or like if you're out and it's like that one friend that just, you got an attitude, or like, I hate vibe killers. I be like, it's always somebody that got to just have an attitude or just blow me.
You do. You be like, it's giving, making it about you.
And I'm a great person to go on vacation with because like, I don't care what you do. If you want to be in the sun and I don't, like, whatever.
Real.
But also like, I'm down for the cause. Some people just be making everything a big deal and I do not like that. It annoys me.
And I feel like too, that's why it's like, a vacation is testy for a friendship.
Woo.
It's
If you make it through a Miami trip, babes, y'all are really true friends.
honestly and truly, why is Miami the
Breakup?
standard? Why is it the pass or fail?
Because it's
What
so
happens?
much going on there.
There is so much.
It's so
There
much
is so
happening.
much.
And it's so many options of things to do.
Yes. And then things
put
get
this on
weird.
silent.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like somebody
like
meets
that in
somebody and
Vegas.
something happens. The liquor, the
Yeah.
dehydration of it all, the malnourishment of it all.
It's too much energy.
It's too much. It's too much. You're not sleeping. There's no sleep. I mean, probably y'all are splitting an Airbnb. There might be two to a bed.
Yeah.
There's no space. So if you survive that, y'all are
Y'all
true
are
friends.
really friends. Vegas too, girl.
Vegas,
Because
too.
I done had a fallout in Vegas. I said, ooh, this is rough.
Girl, honestly and truly, I have had friendships make it through Miami and Vegas. I really commend them. I
Those are
really
your
do.
friends.
Okay? But in my truth, I don't want to go back there for real. I think I'm done. Like,
No,
I don't think I want to go.
In general, in life, I'm happy that I did those type of journeys earlier because I couldn't imagine myself. Girl, I'm going to be 30 in 2 years.
Girl, why did I think you were about to say something sooner than that? I was like, wait.
Not you not knowing.
Girl, you know my memory. You know my memory. I was like, wait a minute.
Now I'm
this is
saying
my-
in December and you're like,
I was like, so what are we doing for your 30th? Okay, putting that on the calendar 2 years from now. Do you
Just-
feel like,
I just feel like it's played out. Like I
Yeah.
personally would be embarrassed some of the things that I used to do to be doing that today.
yeah. Do you feel like you ever have the desire to still like want to go to the club or like just turn up every once in a
Sometimes
while?
I feel a spike in my spirit where I'm like, oh, I'm feeling like I just,
And what do you do with that spike? You go to sleep. I know what you do. You watch some Netflix, you lay it on down, and you start
I birthed the baby.
Okay, exactly.
What's something super embarrassing that happened to you that you're like, you're fine with sharing? Because some stuff is like,
Super
just
embarrassing.
don't tell the world.
I've had some
You want me to
embarrass.
start?
If you got one, great.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Okay. This is so old, but like, I just thought it was hilarious. Okay, so in high school, do you know what wall ball is? The
Is that
game?
basic? That's the one where you like got to throw it and catch it. Or
Yeah,
you're
it's like
out?
you hit the ball on the wall.
Okay.
Okay. So there was this guy that I had a crush on, and I just thought he was so fine, y'all. Looking back, I'm like, ooh. Seen him recently, I said, ooh.
Oh.
But definitely was cute for that time, and he had like a wall ball like team. So at like the little breaks or lunch or whatever, they would like all get together and like play. So I was like, I'm gonna be an active girl. Like I'm gonna either beat him or like just show him like I can get down with the guys. So
Kelly, no.
So I decided to get cute, y'all. I had on like some heels. It wasn't like the stiletto heels, but it definitely had like a boot.
First of all, you're playing a sport in a heel. You're competing with a whole team of professional wall ball players in a heel. Okay.
Yes. And mind you, I was really good at it anyway, so the confidence was there. Yeah. Like I wasn't like, ooh, I don't know how to play this. Like I was actually good.
Okay.
So girl looked cute, had on the dress, everything, right? The boots, just ready to rumble. Mm-hmm. So keep in mind, this was like one of those days where it rained at night, so the floor is like kind of wet. Mm-hmm. So anyways, I'm in mid game. And I'm winning. So I'm getting the points. I'm winning. And so he's shocked. So he's like, oh, snap. You know, they all gassing.
You were like, got him.
Girl.
No.
Slipped, fell on the back, and was paralyzed. Like, you know that paralyzed where you fall on the back?
Kelly.
And it hit the butt bone and you just laying there, can't move. You just stiff bone. Girl. Slipped and fell. And everybody was going, ooh.
No.
You okay?
No. And then what? What happened after that?
I had to do the walk of shame. Booty wet.
Wet? What?
From the floor. Booty wet, paralyzed.
I hate that for you.
Like.
And what happened with the guy?
He didn't want me. He ended up like dating, I think like one of my friends or something. So did all that to get paralyzed.
That hurt. That hurt.
Never
in
will
physical
forget.
and emotional ways.
And I was thinking, should I just lay here and let the ambulance carry me out? Or should I get up?
You must get up and walk. You have to carry the rest of your body.
But it's like, if you made it this far, you might as well just make it further and just...
And stay down.
Be taken out.
That's real. Because then
you could call me and be like...
Call the hospital like, what room is Kelly in?
It's like, if I go down, I might as well go out all the way.
That's real. Dang, that is embarrassing. That's an
never
embarrassing
forget.
One. Dang. And then also kids will remind you, you know?
They did remind me too.
I hate that.
They called me Boots. Anyway.
I am screaming at Boots. That's a lot. I literally have one very similar to that. It wasn't for like to impress a boy, but there was this very popular like public pool. Like, you know, you go there, you can play basketball, you can go to the pool, whatever. I'm very competitive, always have been.
Yeah.
And so like all of these teens were doing mad flips, you know, into the pool on the big dive. There's like the cute one and then there's the big one. All of these teens doing flips and they're like, yeah, crowds watching, yeah. The freaking lifeguard, yeah, nice. I'm like, please, let me show y'all something. So then
wait, have you done this before?
I've done the big dive, you know, in reasonable fashion. A little drop. Have you seen that picture of Beyonce jumping off that like 300-foot yacht? She said,
yeah.
She just like let go, you know? I've done a cute little let go. But I was just like charged up. I was like, y'all are not finna just keep, I don't know. Girl.
Somebody had to be gassing you.
No one. It was me and me.
I'm
just sitting there like, I think you guys can calm down. I mean, I'll show y'all something if y'all want to forget about something. So this is me against me. I'm there with all my siblings, my cousins, you know. We, as a family, we went to the pool. And we was hanging out with our friends. People go to the pool. And my uncle was like the caregiver, the watcher of that time. So I get on this big dive, and I'm like, yeah, y'all doing all this chatter, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I get to the big dive, and I look down there, and I was like,
kind of high.
Higher than I recalled. But one thing I won't do is do the climb down. The climb down, back down the stairs.
Oh yeah,
there's
nobody
a line.
wants to do that. Once you're up there, go right ahead.
Hello, you better Beyonce drop.
Yeah.
Or do something cute, do something sickening. So, like, and also there's a line at the bottom. So I would have to go down and then be like, "Excuse me, kids." They're they're
that's
looking up
too
like,
much.
So what are you doing? You know, I'm like, my plan was to do a backflip. Everyone was doing front
So
things,
you said, I'm about to switch it up on you.
I was like, I'm about to absolutely humble y'all. So here's what we're doing. I don't know why, but I couldn't not do it. You know, I was very scared. Like,
you froze?
Thinking about it now, like I'm looking down in my brain and it makes my stomach is nervous right now. Cause I was just like, this is really a lot more than I expected. I turn around And they start looking up because they see me turn around. Now people are like, da-da-da. You know, pointing, and I'm like, oh my God. You know, the pressure's getting higher and higher. And I just do this thing where like, if I have fear, I'm just like, and I do it. I literally do this backflip, girl.
Did you fall?
I did the flip and landed like this on my freaking back.
So it was like...
The echo.
It made the sound.
It made such a powerful, powerful noise that cut through all chatter. And then I hear under the water, people are like, oh, I hear it under the water. So I'm under the water like, I'm like, if I just lay here. Literally like, maybe I'm like, I just don't want to come up. Because I know once I come up, it's going to be
now
the
you
absolute...
saying I'd rather die.
Literally, I was like looking up at the water and I'm like, I just can't go back up there. Of course, I had to breathe, so I go up there. And my loud uncle's like, Courtney, you all right? I'm like, Uncle, I'm good.
And you hate when people be calling you out loudly.
Literally making a scene. Everybody's like looking at me. They're like screaming, laughing, and my back is on fire, burning.
Oh
Why are
God.
both of our issues like a back issue?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But mine was out of competitive. Yours was trying to get this
I guess
man.
it was kind of competitive.
I guess it was kind of competitive too. But yeah, very humbling.
Girl, that is
Never jumped off the high
embarrassing.
dive again.
Let's dive into today's topic. Okay, why don't we?
Come on.
So I feel like I wanted to kind of like talk about health is wealth. Because I feel like that just ties into like so many different subjects. And also one thing I admire about you is like, I feel like you're a healthy girl.
Thank you.
Mentally, like just the choices that you decide to make to like upkeep friendship, upkeep your personal life, you know, like all of that. Like I admire that because I'm like, you got a lot going on damn near every single day. And to prioritize that, I'm just like, how? Like, what is the first step to be a healthy girl?
There are, I mean, a lot of different ways that it can look like, but I think the biggest revelation for me, honestly, was therapy. And I always am like, I'm very, very vocal on this topic. I feel like a lot of how you move is based on what you believe, and a lot of what you believe is based on what people taught you or what the world taught you. And rarely is what the world teaches you and what the people around you teach you the healthy way to go about things, you know? A lot of the time there's things you have to unlearn, and there's things that you're carrying that you just make look good, but you really don't have to carry those things, you know? So I feel like that was a huge page turner for me in being this mentally healthy girl, is unpacking a lot of the trauma that I had been taught by my experiences and you know, the people around me unintentionally. A lot of the times nobody's trying to teach you trauma. It's just you learn behaviors that were learned through traumatic experiences, you know what I'm saying?
And it could be as simple as like your parent or like a friend like just making a statement and you're like, I actually agree with that. But it's like there's context to everything. Like I would say, speaking for myself, like even going down the mental journey, like I've also learned like, okay, a lot of the way that I think is actually in a box. Yeah. Because the way I was raised, it's like, okay, I didn't see this much life that I'm seeing now, you know, with the career that I have and stuff. It's like, wow, I've actually experienced way more people than I did when I was a child. Because as a child, it's like you're just around your family. Well, at least for me. And I didn't get a wide variety of like just different thoughts and opinions and stuff on things. So I'm like, y'all run that back because you was spitting some facts anyways. Continue.
No, that is such a good point too. Like the circle around you really can like keep you in that box. And I do think it's it's so different, my brain than like my siblings' brain. Same parents, different places, like different environments,
different
you know what I'm
experiences
saying?
Now that we're older.
Yes. And the core principles, I think another thing for me, the core principles that were instilled in me, I challenged them. And that was another thing that really helped me to like become more healthy is asking myself if this is even my truth, if this is what I really believe, or if this is what I was told I need to believe, and what I need to do, what I can and can't say or wear, or like who I can or can't hang around. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I can and can't have as well. Like, it really changed what I reach for, you know?
And speaking of living your truth, I think that also ties into yes and no. Because like my big thing was, I used to deal with like, oh, I don't want to say yeah, but I'm going to say yeah because like, I don't want to hurt feelings.
Real.
Or like, I don't want to say no because I don't want to, you know, and it's like mental health even boils down to satisfying yourself. It's like if you are living your life to satisfy every single person, you're never going to be mentally happy because even if this is so small, but like even if you show up to the club and you didn't want to go to the club, it's like now you're dealing with the mental of like, I don't even want to be here. Like you can't even be in the vibe, you know? And so I guess just taking the power in your hands and like being able to understand like your truth and live your truth is like really big.
And I think too, like getting to know yourself. I feel like a part that I'm super grateful for that at the time I hated about my life was the stillness and the silence. You know, it's not even just in work. It's when your phone is dry. You know what I'm saying? Like when your friends are unavailable, those moments, you ain't got no distractions.
Yeah.
So you better get to know yourself.
And you need those moments too, because it's like one thing I stopped doing, especially when I learned like how to operate in a relationship, before a relationship, I was always calling people like to think for me. And I realized a lot of like the decisions I was making, not in this particular relationship, but even before that, was through someone who convinced me based off of their perspective. And it's like,
how do you get the revelation that that's what you're doing? Because when you're in it, it just seems like what you do.
I think I would get the revelation after, because if I'm having to alter my thinking in the moment and I'm like, oh, that kind of do make sense, and I'm not taking the time to look at the bigger picture, because it's two sides to every story. So I'm telling you my perspective. That's all you're getting. So you get my perspective and how you're taking that. You don't know the other person. You don't know the other friend, whatever the situation is. And so when I realized like, oh, I can have this person perceiving the situation a certain way, but it's like technically I can't fully listen to everything you're saying because you don't have the full picture.
Yeah.
And so can we cut really quick? I think she needs to probably get out. Yeah. Sorry, pause.
It's okay.
Pause that box.
I don't hear no mess.
She was doing so good.
Oh, friend.
She'll be all right.
What, she just wants you?
Yeah. I'm like, she'll be all right.
My mama told me that when I would do that as a kid, my mom would be like, oh, I'm so sorry. But she'd be like, yeah. My mom loves being a mom,
like,
bro.
you know, I am the mother. But yeah, I think you can determine like you're letting people think for you when you start to look for answers from them. It's like you can't think for yourself. So now I'm like, okay, let me first think for myself and actually live my truth of what I would actually do. Like, what would I actually do? Now, I can make that decision and then come to you and be like, hey, so this is what I was thinking of doing, but like, what are your thoughts on it?
That's real.
You know,
Yeah.
and then if I resonate with what you're saying, boom, like, cool, I'm thinking for myself. But I would find myself in situations making decisions or altering my, I guess, thinking on the situation based off of like me trusting someone who honestly don't even know the full situation.
Yeah.
So like I have to live my life. Like I know what I do behind closed doors. I know, you know, whatever the case may be. And ultimately, you got to make sure you're thinking for yourself or you're going to be unhappy.
And I think also too, like sometimes thinking for yourself requires like knowing how to be in relationships, how to have healthy relationships. And so if you only are basing it off of like the toxicity you've learned, then you think of it yourself, but you're still thinking wrong, you know? That was something that I think was so big for me, was I literally had to learn, like, is this fair? And I think too, like, I feel like a big part of it is, for me, what has helped me, another tip that really I stand by, is reading a lot. Like, I'm not probably gonna read a lot of books, but I'm going to read, I do this thing where like I read a lot of articles. I don't know why, but I feel like it's a quick burst of information and I can do it like while I'm in glam or something, and then I move on from that. And then sometimes I'm really, really inspired by something and I'll read that book. I will read that book.
Throw that little audio book on.
You know what I'm saying? But literally like I remember even when in the beginning of like my relearning and education stage of life, I would be like, why do I place my value in my job? Like I would Google that. Why do I do that? And then I would read like articles about like, you know, like literally like people study this stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They do.
And then like therapists and I don't know, psychologists, whatever, they write articles on these things. And it's like really insightful to just learn, you know?
And it helps you learn and check yourself. Because I feel like if you can't check yourself, you really don't have the room to check anybody.
Real.
Because if I can't recognize real with my own self, I honestly can't recognize real with anything and anyone. Yeah. So moving into like just like balance, I feel like that ties into it as well. You do a great job at like balancing work, but also like making sure you check in with your friends. Like I say to some people, I be like, Coco, she gonna text me back. She gonna send a voice note, okay? She gonna check in.
Okay.
Now, it might not be in this first hour, but she gonna get to it.
Facts.
And so even that, there could be pressure in people's day-to-day life of, okay, I'm a mom or I'm working or I'm this and I'm that. Like, how am I balancing things outside of like my personal life? Because we have other people tied into our lives.
Yeah. I think honestly, I hold all of these things at very high value. If I have an amazing career and no friends, that is not what I want. And if I have all these great friends and no career, that is not what I want either. They all are equally important to me. Healthy relationships that fulfill me are worth these accolades because then I can celebrate with somebody. I don't want to just celebrate by myself because I don't trust the people around me. You know what I'm saying? I want my people that were there for me before all of this, you know? Otherwise, what am I doing this for? So I feel like the same way that I prioritize an audition or a song I need to finish, I can prioritize my friendships. I look at them all the same. I'll literally schedule it in my calendar. Like if I'm saying, hey, y'all, I have this day free 2 weeks from now, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And other times I think it's about like also prioritizing myself too, because I don't want to lose me when I'm balancing all these great things that are important to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I thought there was this TV show that I was really liking. And I was like, I haven't even finished that TV show. That was like months ago that I started that TV show. And it's because I was just Baby Reindeer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was like, it's just because I kept giving all my free time away, all of it. And I still need some.
So do you like schedule for yourself? Like,
Yes.
so you put it on a calendar, like today I'm going to the spa?
Yes.
That's
I literally
Stealing that?
Okay. And then also once I know it's there, if I'm having like a really busy week or just a sad day, I'm like, Friday, it's time. Friday is for me, you know? And then I also, another thing that I really like to do is romanticize, loving that word right now, you know, very trendy on the socials, romanticize the things that I have to do for work. Like for example,
Okay.
I don't really like sitting in glam. The 2 hours, I'd be like, I could have done this in an hour, you know? Like, I don't really like it. I don't like sitting there for that long for that, you know? But I'll get like a glass of wine. I'll get a book. I'll get like my music or like whatever you know what I'm saying? Or I'll have like some tasks that I've been wanting to do and I'll save them for that. Like I'll make something I have to do really fun. Like the same with like working out. After a workout, this is my meal. These are the things I get to do. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's like the healthy girl stuff I'm talking about, because these are things that I've changed about myself, but I'm also actively like learning is mindset, right? Because I used to be a person, like if I am having a bad day, like it's just a bad day. And so like altering your mindset and romanticizing things or just like making it better, like making it better. Like, okay, this happened, but here's an alternative. Or I'm not really a fan of this, but I understand this is what I have to do for whatever. Yeah. So like, how can I make this the best experience for where I'm at today? Yeah. And I think that is like the hardest thing for humans to do. And that's why a lot of people kind of deal with depression and just lack of self-love and stuff, because it is hard to pull yourself up out of the shackles of darkness.
Yes, it really, hard. It really, truly is. I hated it there. I mean, and I still feel like there are opportunities for me to compare and get sad again, you know? But
we're human, so it's like we're gonna get there. Like we're gonna have our times. I believe there's sometimes you just need a shoulder to cry on.
Hello. Sometimes
Like,
the best thing I can do is let that cry out. And then
I
I'm
can't stand like the people who just are the people who just keep everything in and just feel like I have to be this like warrior, this incredible hawk. I'm like, you don't have to do this.
Incredible hawk.
You do not have to do this to yourself.
And also, I don't know if you feel the same way, but when I can tell that people are like holding in their trauma,
feel it, girl.
It's so loud.
What
I'm
is
just like,
called?
I can't be in here. It's like everything's in here. Everything in you is in the room, and I'll leave. Just let me leave. You know, it's so uncomfortable to me.
I want to say this, but I don't know if you gonna want me to cut it out. But I just remember you meeting somebody and just saying, honestly, that man needs therapy, and I just can't do it.
I'm like, who? I don't even know who. Like who?
I say you don't have any patience. He needs therapy. Go get it. Find someone new.
I'm
it
like,
can't be me.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, but seriously, I feel like it's just too loud in the room. Like, even if you're like more of a pessimistic person, even if you're like still have your optimistic moments, like I just can't. It's like enough going on. I need you to be on the positive side of things or we're both going down.
And it's hard when you already have a lot going on. So it's like, if we are linking up, this is a link up for me to get away from the stuff that's already going on.
Honestly, truly.
So I just need you to pull that energy out of you for like at least an hour and 20 minutes.
Like, I'm not putting your problems on my already heavy shoulders. I can't. But I do think for your friends now, you got to do this mutual thing of like, all right, we in this thing together. Your pain is my pain.
But I feel like we do a good job at balancing that. Like when we all get together as the girls, like we share great things and then we go into like some of the things we're dealing with, but then we go back into dealing with like the great things. Like, and I think we also are solution based and a lot of people aren't solution based. It's like, we're not just talking to talk. I cannot stand a person who just talking about a man they dealing with over and over and over again. I need the solution. Are we going to keep doing this?
Yeah.
Like if I see no solutions and I see no elevation within myself, I'm going to irritate myself.
That's real.
So everything has to be solution based. And I think our friends, we do a great job at going, okay, so this is the situation at hand. What do you want to do? Boom, you can share that. And here's what I think you should do.
Yeah, that's facts. It's tough too sometimes with your friends because like you don't want to rush their process.
You really can't.
You really can't. Like
you got to be supportive. Like
okay, and I always try to think about when I was moving the most crazy, and my friends were still like,
because you got to have patience. Yeah,
you know. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna get you. And I was like, no, it won't.
Right.
It did. Yeah,
and
the patience is tough.
I think of that too. I'm like, wow, you were a rider through the storm.
Honestly, and so I'm like, I owe you my same dedication.
I do.
But then I'd be like,
as long as it ain't a 2-3 years later, 4 years later.
What is your max?
I mean, it depends on the scenario.
It does.
It really does. Because some stuff is like super deep where I'm like, I understand this is the shackles. Like you're deep down in the darkness. But then there's some things where I'm like, girl, stand up.
Facts. Okay, so on a girl stand up moment, how long are you giving the bullshit?
I'll give you a year.
Okay.
I'll give you a year.
That's
but even after the year, like I'm not going to be hard on you, but I might start telling you. Ooh, she said bye.
I think because I'm like, I mean, let's not just keep wasting the breath. I mean, these are my singing chops. I'm just going to start getting quieter.
I mean, I've told people before, like, honestly, I don't see you really changing in that area. I just don't see anything happening. So, like, I just don't want to talk about it no more. Like, I've been that blunt. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
That is fair. And you know what? I really wish I would have learned that sooner. Because I felt like I just got so avoidant that I would just avoid. Because I knew where it was going, and then I knew what I would say, and then I knew what they'd say, and then I knew how we'd end it, and I couldn't do it anymore, and it drove me crazy.
But also I've been learning, because I've been reading this book called
Not Nice.
Not Nice.
Reading it too. You told me about it, girl. I got it immediately after.
I know that's right. And I just learned like people's emotions are not your responsibility. So like, and that was like my biggest learn, because I felt like I would dish something out to somebody and like I had to be responsible for how they take that.
Yeah.
Like just because I get upset over something, like honestly, that's not your problem. Like you said or did what you said. And if you meant that, you meant that. If you didn't, you'll come back and deal with the apology if needed.
Right.
But like whatever I dish out to somebody, it's not my job how they take that. Like I'm not here to police your emotions. Like that's pretty much on you.
Yeah. And also, I think another part in the book is like, if you assume that they can't handle what you have to say, then you're looking at them lower.
Right.
You're looking at them like they can't handle their own emotions, you know?
Right.
Like they're not fully emotionally mature.
Right.
So giving people the respect to be like, you can take this, you can take what I'm saying, and, you know, also realize me as a whole person, I don't have malicious intent in what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you get to be you. And you get to be free to be yourself.
Yeah, because I don't want to live just thinking of stuff. Like, if I feel away, I'm going to let you know. Like, I think we do a pretty good job at that at times. I mean, I'm still working on it.
Still always
I'm still
ever
working
growing.
on it, like,
Always
for real.
growing.
But I feel like I've gotten to a place for sure, especially after having a baby, because like I wasn't able to really prioritize like anybody, because right after having a baby, it's like you got to prioritize yourself and the baby. So it's like it can look like, oh, I'm not present for anybody. And I was so worried about like, oh, like my friends or my family or whatever. And it's like, that's when I learned like selfishness, like, oh, I'm not responsible for how people feel. Like if they want to check on me, they'll check on me. But right now, this is like the cards that I'm dealt with. I have to make sure I'm mentally strong in there and prioritizing this moment. So then that way I'm not dealing with postpartum depression or whatever it is down the line, you know? Yeah. And so I don't know what you were going to say, but it looked like you had something to say.
I was going to ask you too, like when you do get into this type of space, are you the type to be like, hey, love y'all, but I'm going to be gone for a while? Or are you the type of like, it's me right now. You'll get it or you won't get it. And I just can't, you know?
Yeah, I think in which I'm getting out of, I think I'm more of the isolated type of person. So if I'm going through something, I'm more of like the isolated version, because I never want to bring or be that girl that's like down, like bringing the party down, what we talked about earlier. And so I'm like, let me check myself, check my emotions, and like get on track, because all of us are going through something, and I don't want to be the friend to be putting weight on people all the time.
But see, I feel like that's not fully fair, because you're not
no, I know
to,
it's
like,
not.
You know, I would, if I were finding out that you were suffering and you didn't tell me, I'd be like, why wasn't I on the email list? I would have been there to help. You know, I feel like I want to feel safe enough to be like, I'm suffering. So I want.
But I feel like you are that safe place, because I definitely called you. I'm like, I called you when I was suffering.
Yeah, true.
For sure. I think what I'm trying to say is that has been a part of me, and it's still a part of me in some ways. And like just trying to break out of that would be the healthy route. Because
where did you learn that? Where did you learn like, ooh, let me get myself together before I even hit my friends up? Like, where do you get that? I don't
know. I think that would be a therapy talk, because I'm like, I think it could like stem from like burden, like feeling like a burden or not wanting to be an inconvenience. And honestly, probably just from not having great friends. Yeah. Because like, I feel like now I have more mature and great friends than ever in my life who are open to hear me out and are going to give me logical like advice and like actually care. Yeah. So it could stem from maybe people blowing me off in the past or making me feel like, oh, they don't have time to hear something. Yeah. Don't know. But again, that like stems back to like the whole mental health thing. Like you need an outlet. You do need a release. Yeah. So if I'm holding stuff in, it's like that only adds up, you know, it tallies up.
Facts. And I think I, as you were saying that, I kind of remembered a time where I also felt like you don't share the bad stuff with your friends. Like keep it light and let's not make it weird with your sadness or your problems. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think I also didn't see that. I didn't see like friendships where they were like, here's what I'm going through. And everybody's like, oh, okay. I kind of seen like
more judgmental.
I feel like in
Or
mine,
facade?
it was more facade, like more surface. Everybody just having fun and we're surface with it, you know?
Yeah, no one's going through anything.
Okay, like literally we're all cute and we're all partying. But I feel like I did have this one girl that taught me a lot about saying how you really feel. Because you know when you'd be like, oh, how are you? Girl, I'm good. I would ask this one girl how she was. She'd be like, this happened and it just really upset me because I had my expectations in this person and I thought they were going to do this and this and this. And now I'm like, and I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that you could really say how you feel and really express it like that. And it taught me so much.
I just realized where the trauma came from.
Oh, wow.
Through that story.
Okay. My dear God. You and the epiphany.
It came from having success publicly at a young age and being scared to be that open because you don't know what people are going to tell other people.
Oh, yeah. That's real.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, and you don't even have to have like a platform for this. I feel like a high schooler could deal with this. Like you don't want to express something to like a friend because you just don't know who they're going to tell, or rumors or whatever, you know? So just experience that dynamic of it. And like now I'm blessed to be able to like understand how important it is to like take the advice for people who really love you, because I feel like people would tell me like, oh, that's not really your friend, or like my mom would be like, I don't know about, and I wouldn't listen. I'd be like, anyways, we're going to get coffee. So
coffee. Dang, that is real too. That is real. I feel like one time my therapist said this thing and I was explaining a situation and I was like, and I reacted like this. And I was like, and she was like, okay. And I was like, well, how would you react? She was like, I would have laughed. And I was like, you would have laughed? She was like, yeah, because I'm not traumatized by that. And I was like, damn, you really react based on what
when you
you've been
hear
through.
stuff, sometimes you be like,
I'm like, I took that
OD.
Literally, I took
OD.
that such a completely different way because of things that have happened to me, and it triggered me and reminded me of that, you know? But somebody who's never experienced that thought that was a joke.
When I'm doing things like that, I realize how important it is to have a silent moment in life.
Yeah.
Because that head could be talking that talk sometimes.
Real. The
Get
moments of
over it.
still and silence have taught me so much. And that's another reason why I like to walk. Like one of my favorite things
you be
to
going
do.
on walks?
I do. But you know, I do like to walk because I feel like there's no choice but to be in right now. Where are my feet going? Where am I going? Like on this path? What does this weather feel like? What does the sun feel like on me? You know, I'm here right here. And also I like to really walk, so I can't just have my phone because I'm like, who's all around me?
Yeah,
like the phone is
surrounded.
down, you
Yeah,
know?
period.
And I'm just here with it. And I think that's when I get a lot of my revelation.
I'm sorry to laugh.
What?
But like, we about to end this, but really quick, when you said walk, why did I think about when we tried to go on a walk? Oh my God, y'all.
Was
Really
such
quick
a joke.
before we wrap it up with something lighthearted and funny. We tried to go on a walk, y'all, because I was like, Courtney, like, I want to get out. Like, we don't have to always be like doing something.
Yeah.
Like, we could just do a little walk.
Yeah.
And so,
I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
You let me know the time and the place.
Yeah, we were ready to rumble, and we chose like this place.
We?
Did I choose?
You. Thank
I
you.
chose.
Gotta clarify for the podcast. Please let them know.
I chose this spot where I was like, this looks cute, you know? Chris co-signed it though, so we gonna blame him.
Sure. Put it all on you, Christopher.
Put it on you. So we on this walk, y'all. It was just giving bugs. I had the baby. I kept hitting myself with the baby. The road was so damn
The
narrow.
dogs, I was like,
the dog.
It was
I
chaotic.
think something ran across my leg. I about to have a heart attack. I said, honestly, this is the most tragic and devastating walk we've ever tried to do.
Ever. And the way we took 10 steps and literally left. We were like, enough.
Stay on the concrete.
Literally enough. And then we just went to go eat.
Yeah.
That
and we
was
realized, okay, LA hikes and stuff might not be our jam.
The problem was we took a hike and we really should have took a cute walk. We really should have went to just a cute area.
But I
with
thought
a
we
concrete
scheduled,
path.
we said we want to hike.
I want to hike with no dirt. Is
I
that
don't think
one?
that's possible.
Because they just be carving them on the mountainside. That's not enough. Like, I want there to
think
be a
that's
steel
possible.
handlebar just in case I want to lean.
Yeah, I
It
was
just
like,
was giving
honestly, I
Mother
feel
Nature.
so unsafe, and I just see myself and the baby falling off this hill.
Honestly
Let's
and
go
truly,
home.
because it was really a mountainside. And I was like, are you leaning Tower of Pisa as well?
All right. Well, that was a gander. Thanks for coming on. This
Thank
is
you for
so
having
fun.
me,
I feel like
Kels.
we never have enough time to just talk, but
I know. And we still don't.
we
still could have
don't.
kept it going.
Could have kept it going, but love you.
I
Thanks
love
for
you
sharing all
too.
your tea.
Of course.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. Make sure you guys support my friend. She got music coming out. You're about to go on tour, right?
My album will come out in like September and November, and then I'll
Period.
go on tour at the end of November.
Love that. All right. So this is the Honest Truth Podcast. Love y'all. We will see you in the next episode. Peace out.